Hello, and welcome to Between Sets with Church. Today's guest has played a vital role in the Barrie Music Live show, and as well as a local musician. Today we welcome Ms. Catherine Chaput. We are here once again in the Central Barrie at Sunnydale Park, where today's special guest, Mrs. Catherine Chaput. Thank you very much for joining us today, Catherine.
No problem. Thank you for asking me to be on your show.
You're very welcome. Before we get into too deep, we have a guest, another guest here as well. Barrie Live Music Show has been such an important part of what's happened in the last year over the whole COVID situation and such. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you and Jake kind of got the ball rolling with the Barrie Live Music Show?
Yeah, so when the pandemic first happened, all the musicians in Barrie who regularly played gigs didn't have anywhere to go to anymore, so it didn't take long for everyone to band together online. I didn't even know Jake or Jordan or any of the musicians previously before the pandemic, but it was actually my professor from Georgian who messaged me. She was like, "Kat, you should play on the Barrie's Live Music Show." And then I started to play just covers, and Jake and Jordan were like, "Hey, do you want to help us on the show, like help us coordinate?" So then from there, it was just about 5 people working together on Facebook. And since I used to work at the Chamber, I had a lot of the connections with the charities. Mm-hmm. So then that's where we sort of connected that way. So then every week we found a new charity, and then it just blew up because people needed connection, and everybody gets connected so well through music, so it just naturally happened.
Yeah. So you found there was definitely a lot of talent in this area that you could work with and draw from?
Yeah, like I thought I knew a lot of people just because I am in the scene a lot, but I was mistaken. Yeah. There's a lot of talent.
Writing, you do write obviously a lot of your own music, and some of it I've heard online, which is wonderful. During this time that we've just been kind of going through, how did you find writing? Did it inspire you, or did you find sometimes dealing with everything a little bit too difficult to kind of get into the flow of writing, or did it just come naturally using the pandemic as a source?
I actually haven't written a song this whole pandemic.
Okay.
I found that it was interesting. I wasn't playing live in public, but I was playing live online so often that it gave me more time to practice the songs that I already wrote and practice the covers that I already play. So I ended up spending more time finally recording, because previously, before the pandemic, I was just always gigging. And I love it so much that I never took the time to really record anything. So the pandemic made me slow down. I was like, oh yeah, like I should really focus on my songs. So I'm not glad the pandemic happened, but I'm glad it sort of, as an artist, made me realize how important it is to put out your own music too.
Yeah, good. How's the feedback been with the Barrie Live Music Show?
It's so good. Everyone's so encouraging, and it was just so nice because it just brought a community together, and really anybody, first-time players, long-time players, the encouragement has been the same. It's just really focused on how important music is during hard times. So it's been a really good outlet too, because it is nice like an easy way to really share your music now too, because you have an audience that's actually listening. Yeah.
I think it's wonderful that you did, allow everyone, like you said, from the amateur beginner to the professional musician to play on the show. I think it's a wonderful concept. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more? We discussed a little bit about a project you've got on the go, which is Paige's Passion. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what it means to you, and sort of the development of Paige's Passion?
Yes. So Paige's Passion, it started off from tragedy. So when I was 19, I lost one of my best friends. Her name's Paige Doucette, and we grew up together in Barrie, and she was a drummer, and she was the one who really encouraged all of our friends to get out of our shells. And when she was 19 years old, she passed away from a rare form of cancer. And it was just, I still, it's something you'll never ever get over or really come to terms with. But I find that music really helped her family and friends get through it. And especially I struggled a lot, and I found just burying myself in music and putting on the charity fundraiser really helped me get out of my hard times and let us celebrate her life rather than continue to mourn just because she's such a vibrant young person.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So is this going to be like an ongoing concert, like an annual thing that you're going to be doing with this? Or?
Yeah,
Awesome.
last year it would have been the 7th.
Okay.
With the pandemic, it didn't happen, but this year, with a larger group of artists, we're hoping to put it on, whether it's virtual or in person or maybe hybrid. We don't really know yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we have some ideas. We really want it to help with mental health this year,
Okay.
just with the pandemic, and hopefully an initiative we're working on is trying to get kids and people who can't afford guitars an instrument.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we're still trying to figure all the details out, but that's one of our goals.
Oh, good, good. So is it going to be involving a lot of local musicians, or is there like national or larger people invited to this as well?
Definitely would support artists from Barrie and
Okay.
surrounding area. And not last year, but in 2019, it was the first time Page's Passion had a well-known headliner, and it was Carl Dixon.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so he played.
Local?
He's local,
That's
yeah.
right, yeah.
But he previously was in April Wine, Coney Hatch.
Coney Hatch, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the Guess Who, so
Yeah.
that really brought it up a notch. So I'm
Awesome.
hoping to have someone else, but who knows
Good.
who we can get to come. Well, they go running through my head again, and here I am trying to pretend that I don't know you anymore. And even though I'm right here without you, I still randomly dream about you. I can't do this anymore. So darling, I want you out of my head, and darling, stay out of my bed, and darling, ooh, 'cause baby, I have to start paying rent, or the spaces are filling up in my head. You can pack your things up and leave. I don't need them reminding me of what we used to be. Well, I've developed an infatuation that swiftly spread into contagion. What's real and what's fantasy? Oh, you'll always want what you can't have, and I wanted you so badly. You took hold of me. So darling, I want you out of my head, and darling, stay out of my bed, and darling, ooh, 'cause baby, we'll have to start paying rent, or the spaces are filling up in my head. You can pack your things up and leave. I don't need them reminding me of what we used to be. We'll have to start paying rent, or the spaces are filling up in my head. You can pack your things up and leave. I don't need them reminding me of what we used to be.
I also noticed, I was creeping your page out, your family. I want to go back to that because you seem like you've been brought up in a very musical family. From the pictures I saw, it looked like everyone was getting right into it. Tell me a little bit more about your upbringing with music and up to the current day.
It was very loud.
Yeah.
So I did grow up surrounded by music, so this is really all I know. My dad was in a lot of bands growing up in Northern Ontario, and he was a drummer, and then him and my mom got married, and my mom plays the piano. So just as we were growing up, we had like a little family band, and we mostly play. I have two older brothers. I was on the keyboards, Matthew was on the drums, my dad was on the guitar, and David was on the bass, and they loved Rush. I love Rush too, but at the time I was still trying to figure out, like, why can't we ever play songs that I want? But we played a lot of Rush and Journey.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was very loud.
Are you still playing together as a family? Do you still get together and jam the odd time? Or?
When we can. We've all grown up and moved away, so it's harder to get everyone back, but when we do, it's so much fun.
Yeah, good. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You mentioned about before when you were gigging and that. How did you find the support in this area with gigging? Did you find it was easy to be recognized and to get out there and promote yourself?
It took a lot at first. Like right now, I feel like the environment's much different with Ontario Musicians Co-op and all of these organizations that really help artists in the area. But when I was 16, I remember I was working at the local greenhouse, Bradford Greenhouses, and that's where I got my start gigging because they let me play in their greenhouse Moonlight Madness sales. So I'd play just for the customers, and then they had a big 101 tent outside, and a local musician who now goes by Rob Watts.
Okay.
He saw me and he's like, hey, do you want to play downtown with me? And so then that's how I got into the downtown scene. And then just from there, it's just who you meet and everyone's so, I find the artists in Barrie, they're all very encouraging of one another.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah.
That's good to hear. Yeah, good. With writing and everything, do you find it's easier to write by yourself, or do you like to write with other people? And second part of that, have you ever thought about doing the band thing per se, other than family?
Yes. So writing, I love to write. It's something that I can't really turn on. It just happens. So it didn't happen during the pandemic, which I find odd almost. But I do love writing. It's very therapeutic. I have written a couple songs with others, and I'm fortunate. I do play in a band called Cardinal Street.
Okay, that's right too. Yes.
Yeah. So I started playing with them in 2017, and I just love it because when I started playing with them as opposed to solo gigging, I'm like, oh, it feels like family, just because I'm so used to playing with my brothers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a whole different feel because nothing beats jamming with other musicians.
Yeah. What do you prefer? Is there a time in life where you kind of think, I'd love to just do the band thing, or is this kind of the solo thing kind of what you're settled with or quite content with at this point?
I really like the band thing, and the Cardinal Street's a great group of artists, and they're very talented songwriters as well. So I really enjoy that. I do love being my own artist too, though, but I love playing my songs with a band.
Yeah. Has Cardinal Street played a lot in this area?
Yes, they do a lot of festivals. Before I joined the band, they really were doing the bar scene downtown Barrie, and then after that, it's harder when you grow a bit older and you have a 9-to-5 job.
That can slow you down.
So it was more festivals, and so I always participate when they're playing. Like they played hometown hockey and just
good.
Yeah, things like that.
And you recently entered a competition as well.
Yes.
Yeah, how did that go?
I've been really busy. It went well. I signed up. Well, I submitted a song, an original song called Coffee by the Sea to the CBC Searchlight. And I made it to the first 400 artists, but I didn't make the second round, but it was a great opportunity, especially to get my music out there and not feel too annoying. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this is for a reason.
Well, it's a wonderful, wonderful event, that's for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Getting your music out there, that's another question I was going to ask, is how do you, well, we got another guest, maybe it's the same guy. Getting your music out there, are you heavy into the marketing of your own music? Do you find that almost like a second job all on its own?
Yeah, I just with growing up with the cell phone, it's funny. I have a love-hate relationship with social media, but it is awesome for promoting your music. It does take a lot, but it's a form of art, so I do love it in that sense. But it does take a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So what's coming down the pipeline for you? What have you got planned for the future with music? Is there any surprises coming up that we can share, or?
Yes.
Oh, there is.
course.
Awesome. Please share.
So I've always wanted to put out an album. Ever since I worked at the greenhouse, that's when I wrote a lot of my songs, and I wanted to put out a CD. So the title of the album is called Wallflower.
Okay.
And the single that's Wallflower, so the title of the album will be released this Friday.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It was good timing.
Yeah, I know. It's like and we're in a garden, so
Yeah,
this is perfect.
it's perfect. Whereabouts can people catch it?
It's going to be on Spotify and YouTube
Okay.
and iTunes, and then by the end of the summer, just depending on restrictions for recording, we'll have 10 songs by the end of the summer.
Yeah. And are you recording it locally, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, it was done from home and at
Okay.
a member of the Cardinal Streets
Okay.
recording studio, and that's going to be where the whole album is.
Nice. Well, it's so handy, especially in this day and age where we can record from home with the technology
Yeah.
that we have. It's always good to have that one guy in the band that can sort of take care of all that technical stuff.
Yeah, he's a
no, that's awesome.
Jack of all trades, he can do everything. So.
Yeah. So you're going to put it on a CD. Have you tried like Bandcamp to use any of those as well? Or are you going to kind of stick to the ones you had mentioned?
I'm up for any way to put my music out, so definitely we'll try Bandcamp and just any avenue that will get it out.
Yeah.
I just like the tangible. We even want to do like a vinyl.
Okay.
We'll probably do a couple of those and a CD. But it was the pun of being a flower and having a CD.
No, that's beautiful.
We're like, we can't lose that.
Does everyone contribute with Cardinal Street? Are you all kind of part of the whole writing system, or is there one person or two people that kind of take control? Does everyone contribute?
The first two albums I wasn't on. I just learned the songs and then perform with them during gigs.
Okay.
But they're also working on an album too called Stardust Touch.
Oh, okay.
And they're really trying to make sure that everyone contributes. So they're going to be recording one song that I wrote, which is really exciting.
Oh, nice.
And then all of the others, everyone has the song that they wrote, but it's mostly PJ and Frank who write the lyrics.
Okay, nice. That's great.
If you wanna fly, you gotta give up what weighs you down. So hold your head up high and make the best of what will come around. But let's Well, I don't wanna fly if you're still on the ground, so come with me. I know you've got a lot to wear, so don't wear your frown and we'll be free. Cause it's only for so long that we'll sing forever young. I'd rather age if you're by my side. Our memories along for the ride. are filled to the brim with things we can't forecast. But when you look back, the clouds fade away, and you wish you could have stayed. Ooh. 'Cause only for so long that we'll sing forever young. I'd rather age if you're by my side. Our memories along for the ride. So don't even blink. Don't you dare close your eyes. By the time you open them, 4 years will pass by.
Well, it has been just a sheer pleasure to have you on this show.
Thank
And I
you.
wish you all the best with your CD, and I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more about it. Is there anything you can pass on to future artists in your position and want to get their name out there? I know it's kind of a rough time to suggest a lot, but is there any hints or suggestions you can give to the young musicians that are on your show, the Barrie Live Music Show, to kind of push their music a little bit more?
I would say to not give up.
Okay.
I know that's cliche, but there's so many different levels that once you experience something, you just grow from it. So I am still kind of shy, but I used to be really shy. And just the more you do and the more people you meet, if you love music, I think that you should share it with anyone you know, because it's so uplifting, and music is just such a human thing that we all need.
Yeah, it's so true. Steve and I did a series there 2 years ago called Music is the Medicine, and we talked about anxiety and depression and all that.
Yeah.
And it is so true that it can really change so much, even when you're going through the worst or darkest times. Music is always there to give us that little joy, to hopefully share that and give us some hope, I guess, as well.
And that's why the Barrie's Live Music Show did so well during the pandemic, because it just proved that.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you very much for being on the show. It has been a sheer pleasure, and all the best.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you know what's more alarming than my 8 a.m. wake-up call? Well, you should know that every morning I dream about giving away it all. All I needed is coffee by the sea. 'Cause a little bit of sugar goes along with the salty breeze. You and me, double extra cream. Oh no, it's getting cold outside again. My poor old rattling bones are frozen. Can you hold them to make me warm again? All I need is coffee by the sea. 'Cause a little bit of sugar goes along with the salty breeze. You and me, double extra cream. I need a strong dose of you to get me through my day. Give it to me right away. A little quick pick me up, and you must stop.
I'm Ian Churchward from Between Sets with Church. On this show, we sit down and listen to and as well talk to some of our local musicians from the Simcoe County area. For more information, go to rogerstv.com.